place is even stranger than I expected. That's unusual.
There is a siege camp not far from here. Meet me there, and I will show you what must be done.
Siege of the fort.
We do not have the luxury of time. Demons, the remnants of a long-forgotten battle. That is a siege room. Bring it with you. Do you see the battering ram below? That is the only way you can breach the fortress gates. But it is useless without the siege rooms that power it. You have one in your possession, but there are two more. You will find them on the battlefield below, imprisoned along with the demons that carried them. Once you have the rooms, go to the ram. But know this, Nephilim. Even if you release Malthael from his madness, I will not thank you for it.
Indeed.
After years of my pleading, the Angiris Council has finally agreed to send me in search of Malthael. I will not fail in this, as my master's presence is sorely needed in the high heavens. Owing to Malthael's growing fascination with the humans, Tyrael has suggested I begin my search on Sanctuary. I did not find Malthael on Sanctuary. But I did find humans. Far too many of them. They murder and cheat one another while allowing their brothers to starve. If their true power is ever released, we are all doomed. They have a choice between good and evil, and they overwhelmingly choose evil. I grew disgusted by humanity during my time on Sanctuary. When at last I found Malthael, I was not surprised to learn that he felt the same way. We will cleanse creation of the scourge that is humankind, and when we are finished, the tragic mistake of Anarius will be gone.
Pandemonium is a vast, chaotic realm, and many demons remain scattered throughout it. In particular, the war-scarred marauders were unwilling to return to the Hells, and they have taken to pillaging the remaining angelic outposts in the battlefields. They may not be the most powerful of their kind, but they are clever and insidious, and no strangers to war. The Ravagers were among the most fearsome soldiers of Hell. Having grown accustomed to the taste of war,
My essence
they
is too
remained
low.
in Pandemonium long after the last siege of the fortress ended. Now, they regard the realm as their own and terrorize any angels who venture onto the battlefields.
I have found many references to the beasts of Pandemonium in Cain's old writings. He journeyed there 20 years ago to help a band of heroes seal away the prime evils, and his discoveries appear to have shaken him deeply. Sometimes he would stare outside the fortress walls, and winged beasts would appear, calling his name.
Pandemonium is a harsh realm, and its inhabitants must be resourceful to survive, but none more so than the scavengers, who armor themselves in the very rocks beneath their feet. They may appear as mighty giants to their foes, but a few hard strikes will reveal that their true form is much smaller. Not all of the hazards of Pandemonium lie above ground. The tunnelers roam just beneath the surface, breaking through to snatch prey in their enormous jaws. And my heroic friends ask why I wish to stay inside the fortress.
Must serve the cycle.
My journey to Pandemonium has allowed me to see a new world, one that is almost too fantastic for mortal eyes. The ancient battlefields stretch before me, a desolate space that is occupied by small, scouring beasts. They search the lands endlessly, thriving off the magic that lingers from battles long past.
We will crush you if it takes another 10,000 years! This eternal battle only strengthens our resolve!
Must serve the cycle.
A wingless angel. This is what they send to me.
I need essence.
What kind of...
Ever clean up after their battles? Yeah, I expect this sort of thing from demons, but seriously.
I had believed my new assistant was the noisiest creature in the world, but that was before I discovered the Shrieking Terror. This bat-like monstrosity produces the most ear-splitting racket imaginable, and furthermore managed to make my assistant scream even louder. I think my headache will last for weeks now.
The great pestilence in Westmarch killed both humans and beasts alike. The panicked survivors then threw the corpses of both into the plague tunnels. Now the Reaper's presence has revived many of those interred there, with the bones of beasts rising again as skeletal crawlers, driven to kill the living.
Your death nears. The grave beckons.
The seraph was on me before I knew it. The mass of its bloated flesh soundless as it floated above the ground. When I finally noticed it, I could not move. It was as though I was trapped in a waking nightmare. I looked down and saw tendrils of energy wrapped around my feet and realized it was not fear that held me, but the seraph's magic.
Nephilim, over here. We found ancient siege weaponry that we can use to create a diversion and draw Malthael's creatures away from the ram. But we can't fight and repair it at the same time. Protect us while we do our work.
Not enough essence.
I'm under attack! Help me! I'm under attack! Help me! I'm under attack! Kill that thing! It may drive off the rest of them.
Make a fine corpse.
Siege weaponry is restored. This will help keep the Angel of Death's minions occupied. You are a noble warrior. We are proud to fight by your side.
The first time I saw a witch, she burned. Father took me to the town square to see it. Look, he said, that is the face of evil. But she looked like any other woman, and burned like anything else. Then the flames engulfed her. Her eyes found mine, and she laughed. My father could never understand. He was born into privilege and wealth, and he spent every moment of his life trying to protect it. I was his flesh and blood, but he cared more about the names in books and the faces of the paintings on the walls than his living daughter.
Something now inhabits the fortress. I am certain of it. Long have I gazed upon its scarred facade, dreaming of the safe haven its walls offer. But it has changed. The vacant terraces have turned cold. I am so desperate to escape the demons. But whatever is in the fortress may be worse.
Do you know what fear is? Fear of who you are. Fear of what your own blood would do if they knew what you were. No. You could never understand it. People look to you as a savior. Have you ever thought about the lives you've taken? They were fathers, lovers, daughters.
Did you see that hit?
They asked me what I see when I look into the fire. I see a burning man. I see a burning witch. I see terror and a hunger that will consume everything. What hope do the works of men have against such all-consuming hunger? I gave myself to the flames.
I need essence. This world can abide you no longer!
My father burned. He screamed as the flames consumed him, and the smell was sickly sweet. He had found me. For once in his life he had noticed me, and when he saw that the flames did not touch me, he breathed one word. It was his last.
Do not fear the end.
I have uncovered and obscured an ancient tome in whose pages is recorded an impossible tale. The secret history of a race called the Nephilim, gods by another name, and their ruined civilization in the West. If this is true, how could all signs of these Nephilim be lost but for the record of this single tome? The Nephilim were not gods, but our own ancestors, gifted with long life, magic, and abilities far beyond ours. Yet they were still men. I wonder if these pages hold the key to unlock their powers once again.
That was completely worth it. Mostly.
Your death nears. Decay and rot.
Pandemonium is the Alpha and the Omega of the eternal conflict. It lies at the center of all things, linking the realms of heaven and hell. Long ago, when the angels were young, the aspect of wisdom found the eye of Anu here. He named it the World Stone, and all of heaven swore to protect it.
can hear them. The voices speak to me again. What? Death is coming? But I can't die. I can't. I am too important to have my life just thrown away. Please, tell me how I can avoid my fate. You want me to do what? Must I? Oh, yes. Yes, I will. I swear it. I will do anything.
I can't believe that Imperius really asked you, of all people, for help.
It is very odd.
Clearly.
Decay and rot! Decay and rot!
Pandemonium was destined to be our battlefield. It was formed in the chaos of the last struggle between the Diamond Warrior Anu and the Dragon Tathanet. Now eons of war have scarred every patch of ground. The cycle of victory and defeat is the foundation of our existence and the essence of the eternal conflict. Do I know of the Realm Walker? Very little. It roams the outskirts of Pandemonium, a lumbering giant with a gaping hollow at its core. Somehow, it can hide its body away, disguising itself as a mere portal. Those who pass through it are trapped in a distant world, never to be seen again.
Smell treasure!
The prophet said I would not dream, but I did. At first, they were dreams of color, unsettling, and then I began to hear voices. They called for me over and over, and then I woke.
You will make a fine corpse.
The prophet asked each of us in turn, before he cast the spell of binding, our lives for hers. If we declined, we could leave without any thought of shame. We each heard the question, and answered the only way we could. Our cause was too important to not make that sacrifice.
decay and rot. My bag is full.
We trained, believing that we would fight together. But Irene was the one who was chosen. And we were the ones who must sacrifice to support her. Why her and not me? A selfish question, for I know that if she was asked, she would say yes. So I did.
Man is a flawed being. Time and again we have seen good men give in to temptation. Though it is painful, I have found only one answer. We must cleanse the minds of our recruits, so they will never fall prey to the corruption of the demons, or the blind self-righteousness of the angels.
Malthael's fallen angels have brought death to Westmarch, raising an army of reapers from the city's slain defenders. Once, these men and women were our protectors. Now, they are our executioners, scouring the city for every living soul and putting them to the sword.
Weakness consumes you.
Finally, this is interesting.
I knew Inarius long ago, when he was still among the angels. But he grew weary of battling the demons after a time, and he began to secretly conspire with demons in order to forge a peace. The demoness Lilith became his greatest ally in the Hells, and many other demons and angels joined his cause.
All must serve the cycle.
After he gained a following, Inarius stole the sacred World Stone and used it to create and conceal a world he called Sanctuary. Demons and angels alike fled there, and some of them, including Inarius and Lilith, fell in love. Many of these unions resulted in children. They were called the Nephilim.
More gold for me!
Weakness consumes you.
Inarius was alarmed when he realized that the Nephilim had the potential to surpass both angels and demons in power. He wished to limit their abilities, but Lilith demanded that they become her army. Their escalating conflict led to Sanctuary's discovery by the Demon Lords and the Angiris Council.
death nears. All must serve the cycle.
The Angel Iswal was once Tyrion's lieutenant, but he was captured by the enemy after an ill-advised assault upon the Hellforge. Iswal surrendered to demonic corruption and revealed the secrets of the Soul Stones to the Prime Evils. Tyrion claimed that Iswal was slain years ago, but his replacement has never emerged from the Crystal Arch.
Feels like we're so removed from everything. It's hard to believe our world is still under attack. I suppose that's why we have to keep going.
Get away from the ram!
I bear grave news, my friend. The Sliver has revealed Malthael's plan to me, and it is worse than I could have imagined. He means to use the Black Soul Stone to capture all demonic essences, even those that linger in human hearts. If the stone is altered to rip the demonic essence out of every man, woman, and child on Sanctuary, they will all die.
Quickly then. We must begin the attack.
Malthael is fundamentally altering the Black Soul Stone. It will now pull in all the demonic essence from whatever plane of existence it finds itself in. But mankind is born of angel and demon alike. Every mortal, save myself, has demonic essence as an intrinsic part of their being. Losing that will rip their body and soul apart. I never thought I would return here. Pandemonium was our battlefield for ages on end. Demons' blood saturated this ground, and many angels died defending it.
Why here?
Our battles revolved around the World Stone. I had the Pandemonium Fortress built in order to protect it.
You must have searched for Malthael after he vanished.
Malthael kept to himself much of the time, and he was known to leave without warning. Eventually, the Council became concerned. We sent his closest followers to find him. Most of them did not return.
They sided with their master.
It seems so.
You built this fortress.
Not on my own, but it was my idea, yes. The angels raised it around the World Stone many eons ago.
Then you must know another way in.
I fear not. The fortress is always changing, caught between the forces of heaven and hell.